Today is June 21st. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com, brought to you each and every day by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, today is the longest day of the year. How are you doing today?
Well, I want to enjoy every minute of it. It's funny. When the winter solstice hits, I'm really excited because I know the next day and we're starting to get to the summer. And then I'm always a little depressed when I go to bed this evening because I know the days are going to start getting shorter. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it still seems like we have so much summer left ahead of
Yeah.
us with July and August, and the hopefully the heat just keeps on. It just keeps getting hotter and hotter. I would love that, but I know what you're saying. I get it, and
Mental.
yeah, it is. Today, though, we have baseball to talk about. Cardinals and Brewers tonight. They lose the game last night. Little upsetting to lose that one, but hey, you know what? It was another fine pitching performance by Miles Michaelis, just with pretty much a very similar one to the game he lost in Tampa. Gave up a home run.
Yep. The Cardinals made two mistakes the whole night, and it cost them. The pitch, it was hit out, and you don't know what would have happened had he not gone, but Brendan Donovan took away, in his exuberance, took away the shot you had in the ninth. You probably still don't score, but you took away the opportunity. So those two things, and that's the ball game.
It really was, and for as aggressive as he was to get to first and get that infield single there, I mean, hell of a tag by Adames, or was it Hurria at second base? I think it was Keston Hurria that made the tag at second base to get him out. I mean, pretty much got the spikes of his cleats. I got the metal on the bottom of his cleats on that tag to get him out at second base, and that kind of set up the rest of that inning, the way it played out, because having him on base kind of assured you that Pujols was going to get a shot out there against Josh Hader. And that probably changed the approach too of Goldschmidt and Arenado in that last inning.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen, but despite the loss, that was a good baseball game, and the teams are similar enough in most categories. The team that makes the fewest mistakes wins, and that's what happened yesterday.
It was. So they try to do it again tonight. It is Jack Flaherty against Chichi Gonzalez. And here is what the lineups will look like. First, for the visiting Cardinals, Tommy Edman is at short. Brendan Donovan at first. Nolan Arenado at third. Juan Yepes DHing. Nolan Gorman at second. Dylan Carlson on right. Harrison Bader in center. Lars Nootbaar gets the start tonight in left. And Andrew Kisner back behind the plate. For the Brewers, it's Yelich in left field, Adames at short, Tellez at first, McCutchen in right, Renfroe DHing, Caratini behind the plate, Urias is at second, Peterson at third, and Taylor is in center field for the Brewers. Very similar lineup to what they had last night. You might have noticed I didn't say Paul Goldschmidt's name. Ali Marmol told the media earlier today he's dealing with a little bit of back tightness. They are hoping that giving him the day off today will mean that he can play in Wednesday's game, as Wednesday, that's the big one in this series, as they're going to be facing Eric Lauer tomorrow. We'll talk about it all tomorrow, but he's a lefty, and the Cardinals have really hit lefties hard this year. So you imagine Pujols in the lineup, Goldschmidt in the lineup, you are going to load that thing up with righties and let them go off against Eric Lauer tomorrow. So get the win tonight and dominate Lauer tomorrow. Could have a chance to still take 3 out of 4.
Yeah, you're missing though. We can't overlook this game. You don't know what Flaherty's going to give you tonight.
No, you don't.
Now, if he pitches like he's capable, you have a distinct advantage. Chichi is a journeyman. He's won some games in his career, but let's face it, he's just a guy. So you got to go handle your business and hope Jack is at least close to what he needs to be the ace on this team. So I think that's the challenge for the Cardinals tonight.
That game starts at 7:10 this evening up in Milwaukee. Haven't seen if the dome is open or closed up there yet, but earlier today, Rammer, the first round of voting came out for the All-Stars, both the American League and the National League. What they're doing this year, they're going to have the vote, and then they are going to have the top two go against each other in a vote off to figure out who is going to start at each position in the game. All eight regular positions on the field and the DH position. And as you would imagine, it's littered with Cardinals. You would expect that, as the Cardinals have been playing really well so far this year. Paul Goldschmidt leads all of the first baseman voters, and I believe is third overall in the vote right now, behind Bryce Harper and Manny Machado in the National League. But Paul Goldschmidt has a very solid lead over Pete Alonso of the Mets, over 300,000 more votes than Pete Alonso does. Tommy Edman, I don't know if he got screwed or not with this, but they do have him listed as a shortstop in the All-Star game vote, even though he's played majority of the season at second base. He is your fourth-ranked shortstop right now, and really far behind Dansby Swanson for second place in the vote. 300,000 plus votes behind Dansby Swanson there. Trey Turner first, Swanson second, Lindor is third. He wouldn't be faring much better, though, at the second base position with Jazz Chisholm and Ozzie Albies ahead there. Yadier Molina.
I think voter perception is a key here, in that probably nobody really thinks of him as a shortstop. I bet he would be getting more votes as a second baseman, but he's not anymore. So that's just the way it goes.
Nolan Gorman is fifth overall among second baseman voters, by the way. He is.
People love good young players.
Yeah, and you know what? The Cardinal fans are going to vote. They're going to vote for their guys. Yadier Molina third right now is as the catcher spot. Wilson Contreras running away with that. Yadi is probably going to end up in a vote off with Wilson Contreras. I would imagine the fans will vote him over Travis d'Arnaud of the Braves by the time we get to that point. Nolan Arenado.
It should be the Contreras brothers. That I would like to see.
That would be a lot of fun. Right now, though, yeah, the other Contreras not up on the list. Nolan Arenado second behind Manny Machado, and Albert Pujols is third amongst designated hitters right now. So I still believe Pujols and Yadi should both be there regardless, and this would make things a lot easier if you can get them both into the
you
to the
might
top
get what
two.
you want.
But I tell you what. You look around the National League and you look at the last three starts that Miles Mikolas has put out. I mean, what are we talking here? 24 innings or so, and he has allowed 2 home runs, and that's accounted for all the runs that he has given up.
Yep.
Miles Mikolas has just been so good this year that it really has erased so many of the concerns that I think fans had going into this season as far as the pitching staff would go. The questions are still there. There still are question marks. The pitching by no means is solid, but Miles Mikolas has made things so much easier and better for this team, and I think the front office.
It's too bad that Flaherty hasn't been able to bounce back like you'd hope, because then that would be different. And that's why I think that's the real focus tonight. Not more than a win or a loss. Well, in some ways, maybe. If he can show that he can go back to dominating a game, then it really bodes well for the last 4 months of the season.
Yeah, as we get closer, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, as we keep getting closer towards that trade deadline and what the team might do. Johan Oviedo was pretty good out of the bullpen yesterday. He came in yesterday. That was a very solid outing out of Johan Oviedo. And you know what? What it really did was it saved the rest of the bullpen for the rest of the series. You didn't have to burn anybody else. You threw him. Maybe we see him again on Thursday. If not, you know what? Hey, take the rest of the series off. You did your job in your one game to hold the lead, hold the deficit where it was, and you gave the Cardinals a chance there at the end.
He should be available Thursday.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Going into the rest of the night, you mentioned Jack Flaherty, Paul Goldschmidt not in the lineup tonight. Anything else that kind of jumps out at you as far as this Cardinal-Brewer matchup goes?
I just think that, again, I expect the Brewers, if you can put the pressure on, for them to be the ones to make the mistakes. My theory was proven wrong last night. But if Flaherty, I keep hammering on that, you put the pressure on them, then I think they're the team that you can force into mistakes. Their offense, I think, is suspect. Their defense, I'm not crazy about. So can you have a lead and take away their strength of the back end of the bullpen?
Paul Goldschmidt talked to the media while we've been here talking to you. John Denton just tweeted out that Paul Goldschmidt spoke with the media ahead of time and said that he missed one game with it last year, and he said that he was ready to go. He said, "I could have played today. We're just trying to be smart about it." So that was Paul Goldschmidt talking to the media earlier today. A few notes from around baseball, by the way. I don't know if you saw this. The Guardians designated Oscar Mercado for assignment, former Cardinal farmhand, guy that played really well for a year or two in Cleveland, but was now designated for assignment. So
couldn't get it back. The league adjusted to him, and they gave him lots of opportunities. He just couldn't get the batting stroke back.
No. And but that also reminded me, I wanted to point this out yesterday because we're talking Brewers this week. I don't know if you saw Lorenzo Cain. Brewers designated him for assignment, but they waited until he reached his 10 years of service and did it that way. I don't know if it cost them anything at any point along the way, but when your 10 years kick in as a Major League Baseball player, there are perks that you get.
Fully vested.
For the rest of your life. And the Brewers were kind enough to wait for that 10-year mark to designate Lorenzo Cain for assignment, who has pretty much said, "Yeah, I think this might be it. I just don't have it anymore."
What a terrific player. Player, man. He robbed home runs from the Cardinals. He was fun to watch. He was an excellent player and an MLB rep.
Yeah, a very nice gesture by the Brewers to let him get to that benchmark before doing what I think both parties knew was inevitable at some point after the way this season started. Rammer, we got a fun night of baseball tonight, and then you have a fun night of baseball. I got a softball and baseball tonight, so lots of stuff going on in our lives along with Cardinal baseball this evening. Don't get hurt tonight. Play smart.
I won't if you won't. This is what playing ball is what the summer's all about. Whether you're watching, playing, participating, going out with your kids. That's why baseball is the greatest sport.
Absolutely. Rammer, we are brought to you each and every day here on Daily Cards Live by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri.
Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you tomorrow night before Brewers and Cardinals on a Wednesday. Until then, this has been Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com.
St. Louis Acura has almost 200 pre-owned vehicles in stock with inventory arriving daily and can offer the best trade-in value. While others raise their prices and fees, we choose to earn your repeat and referral business by not taking advantage of the current market situation. We invest in our team, becoming one of St. Louis's top places to work and fastest growing companies. St. Louis Acura remains committed to becoming better than ever for you. Located at Manchester and Mason Roads.